received no warning phone calls, prank letters, or anything of the sort. And racial tensions and religious tensions in Peoria are at an absolute minimum. We are at a loss to understand what could be behind it. However, because of the fact that this comes so closely on the heels of a similar and much worse explosion in Atlanta, we can't help feeling that there must be some connection, either direct or indirect.
This means wider markets and more business, and indicates very graphically the tremendous growth of this country.
Mr. Secretary, when can we project figures for 200 million people in the United States?
Well, Mr. Burgess and those who are in the business, so to speak, tell me that by 1967 we'll hit about 200 million people.
Where is the movement of population, Mr. Secretary?
Well, the movement is continually westward. The center of population is in Illinois, and census by census, the decennial census I mean, it moves further westward as the population builds up, particularly on the Pacific coast.
Mr. Secretary, what is bringing this big increase of population? Is it births, immigration, or what?
Well, the births exceed the deaths. We have a birth about every 7.5 seconds and a death about every 20 seconds. In the area of immigration, one individual comes in, goes out rather, in every 20 minutes, and one comes in about every minute and a half. So obviously, the greatest increase comes from excess of births over death.
That the attitude or rather the position taken by the party in 1960 will lead to some third-party movement in some of the southern states. But I will point out that the last time that we elected a Democratic president of the United States, not so long ago, 10 years ago, we did not carry the entire South. There was a third-party movement, and we still elected Harry Truman as president of the United States. And we could win in 1960, even against a third-party movement in the South.
I'm saying this, that you can go down to the Potomac River in a boat, and you can look one side to a Republican state, and you'll find integration. You'll find that you can go into a theater and into a school and into any other place, regardless of the color of your skin, and you can get an education there if you're a Negro, and it's a Republican state.
I don't have to get home until tomorrow.
I'll stay here till next year's meeting. If
my wife and son are here, and I'm sure that they'll be willing to drive at 6 o'clock tomorrow night,
go ahead,
as well as 11 tonight.
I find only one thing wrong with the Democrats. I find that they're suffering from Dewey-itis. It's the worst disease in the world. It means defeat. And what I'm anxious for you people to do here, you represent every section of the United States and every section of this part of the world which ought to be overwhelmingly Democratic. And in order to do that, you must not decide that the election is won because the curve is going up. You can turn it down as easy as anything in the world.
get in some good digs, honey. You know, Tricky Dicky, I went for him. Dangerous, vicious, and I said dirty is much too clean a word for him, I might add. And the truth is about the only thing I know. I have no ability, but at least I know the truth. And I had even a few nice remarks about some Republicans, believe it or not, you know. But they asked me if I disliked the Democrats, and I said, well, I think Forbes has hurt us as much, if not more than Dulles and the whole of this administration in the free world. And that goes...
Each of the states that I visited, the crowds that I had were record crowds. The enthusiasm and morale was high, and I was encouraged by the prospects as I saw them. I recognize, as I have said repeatedly, that the Republican Party and the Republican candidates this year are the underdogs. But as far as I'm concerned, that is a position which has one major advantage. I've always said that it's important that a candidate runs scared, that overconfidence is the worst disease with which you can be infected. And as far as we're concerned, there's no chance of that in this campaign. Our people around the country are running with an all-out fight for their candidates and against the opposition, and I think we'll be in for a few surprises on Election Day if we continue this kind of a fight.
You're still on the offensive?
The only way to win a campaign, particularly when you're behind, is to stay on the offensive.